Mavuma and Leo Morwe. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Duma FM.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
How's everybody doing this morning? It's a chilly day. I think chilly is an understatement of the year. It's cold.
It's properly cold today.
Yeah. But let me take this time once again to thank you for talking to us this morning. And if you are listening, I'm pretty sure you heard it in the news about, Aon exiting Botswana. And maybe it's only right that we have the respective representatives from the aforementioned organizations to come and tell us a bit more about this. And of course, restore confidence for those maybe but to start off, maybe let's start by talking about this particular issue to confirm if indeed it is exiting Botswana and the reasons thereof.
Well, I think it's important to clarify that Aon is exiting the ownership arrangement or ownership of Aon Botswana. But what this transition means, it will remain involved through a correspondent partnership with Minet Botswana. Minet is a Pan-African risk and insurance advisor, currently operates in 8 countries. Botswana is the 9th edition. And this correspondent partnership allows one of two things. I think continuity in the sense that Minet Botswana continues to have access to, international markets, the ability to, place business in those markets, and access best-hand, research, data and analytics capability in terms of risk. And overall support that Aon has provided as a shareholder, but now on a correspondent partnership. So that is the part where that reassurance continues, to just give context in terms of what that means.
Right. And of course, the question we're asking ourselves as clients, as Aon clients, is what will happen to us? And maybe just to tie it into that, is Minet maybe going to improve overall processes and operations?
Yes, it is. So I think an important thing to note here before I ask Barnabas, our CEO of Minet Botswana, to come in, is that while Aon is exiting its shareholding, from a service perspective, Minet Botswana is now going to be, I think, enhanced in what it can do for customers as a company that's in Botswana and focused on Botswana,
right,
rather than a small subsidiary of a global company. And as Leo rightly said, the knowledge and know-how of Aon will be retained through the global correspondent agreement that will exist. But beyond that, I think it's important that we see and know that this is really a bigger transaction than Aon selling its shareholding. This is the entry of Africa Lighthouse Capital, a Botswana citizen-owned private equity firm, and Minet, a Pan-African risk services company, entering Botswana, seeking to make Botswana a primary market, a key market of focus, seeking to invest in product development, in business development, in its staff. And so this is really a new beginning, and new investments will be made in the market, and that is the perspective that's important here.
Yeah.
Barnabas, please add to that.
Thank you, Bami. Like Mr. Morwe mentioned, the Aon leadership will now has moved to become the Minet leadership.
Yeah.
The management teams and the service teams have remained, and they remain to keep the relationship between them and the clients going. Of course, we will be getting our technical know-how resources to the Aon Global Correspondent Agreement. So our clients can be assured that it's business as usual. Nothing will change. In fact, like Mr. Pule says, there will be an enhanced offering going forward. We will be localizing, coming up with innovative products, localizing products, and giving them more for their money.
Right. And most of us are curious to know who really is Minet. I think Leo just spoke a bit about what they're going to add to Aon and why the takeover, but I'm curious to know who Minet is.
So as we indicated, I think Minet is a Pan-African, risk and, sort of insurance advisory firm that primarily focus on risk in a sense that both, from a short-term and reinsurance, broking. Further to that, it's got employee benefits capability in terms of pension administration, pension consulting. Minet is a leader in most markets that it operates in, and so it will be in Botswana. And really, it's a brand that's been in Africa for over 70 years. Right. It's obviously rebranded in 2017 when it acquired Aon own operations in other parts of the continent. And I think it's known primarily for two things. I mean, a high level of professionalism and expertise. And obviously, as Mr. Mavuma and Mr. Pule have said, the team in Botswana equally is highly skilled and obviously complements what Minet has. Minet, across the continent, as we indicated, has also got that correspondent agreement with Aon. It's an exclusive correspondent partner for Aon. And therefore, it's got access to, Africa insights in terms of issues of risk and employee benefits. And obviously through the global partnership with Aon has got access to really global best practice and access to those markets. But what makes it even more compelling as a value proposition is we all know that our African markets or African governments, for this instance, have really been focusing on increasing intra-Africa trade. And Botswana is no exception to that. I think, the recent bridge that was opened that connects multi-countries will facilitate that. So Minet is better positioned to obviously service Botswana companies that are expanding into the other markets in Africa and in other continents. And therefore, or, incoming internationals into Botswana. So from a value proposition, I think in terms of, boots on the ground, skilled staff, really knowledgeable, understanding of the African markets, yet having global access, which is compelling for our clients and ensures continuity.
Right. And another question is why really Minet has partnered with Africa Lighthouse Capital in Botswana.
I think primarily Africa Lighthouse Capital, in our view, is a great model of what African success looks like. I think you have seasoned professionals that have great track record, that have done business worldwide. I think Bami will speak for himself, but as a private equity expert, he's operated in multi-countries. I think one of the guys in that team is a guy called Kutswani, who's well known in the banking sector in Botswana. Really, showcasing African excellence in terms of expertise and skill. Right. And obviously the fact that it's also 100% citizen-owned appeals to that. The third element was Africa Lighthouse has got ambition to be a to look at pan-African expansion. So there's a greater alignment in terms of, that particular, values and goals from that point. And that's what made it compelling for us. Bame, you want to add over there?
Yes, I'll take that opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Morwe. So for us as Africa Lighthouse, we're very excited about this opportunity. This is about Aon selling its shareholding, but of course its know-how and knowledge and technology will continue in the business through the Global Correspondent Agreement. So that's really the foundation stays. Our investment is premised on growth of this business and investing in this business. Africa Lighthouse Capital is a Botswana private equity firm. We are 100% citizen-owned, as Mr. Morwe says. Our employees, all of them, 100% of them are Botswana. 100% of our directors are Botswana. So we are really committed and focused on Botswana in a way in which a global company can really not be given the size of our market relative to the global operations. So this is the country that we want to primarily focus on and to grow Botswana companies to become Pan-African companies. And that is what aligns us greatly with Minet. And what we do as Africa Lighthouse, as a private equity firm, is help companies attain their full potential. So you look at what Aon Botswana was. It was a well-positioned company, but not reaching its full potential. With our investment, we intend to help it reach its full potential. We're going to do that by introducing new ideas. We're going to come onto the board as Africa Lighthouse and help to generate the company's new strategy, more focused on Botswana, going deeper into Botswana, localizing products, localizing management. We're going to introduce new products into the market that are more geared towards the Botswana economy. And we're going to focus on new areas, including business development. We're going to make sure the market knows that this is a company that has gone from having minimal citizen shareholding to one now that has very substantial citizen shareholding. Through this deal, we are enabling not only ourselves as Africa Lighthouse Capital, and remember that we manage a fund in which hundreds of thousands of Botswana, as members of pension funds, are themselves investing in Minet Botswana. We are a fund manager managing this money on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of Botswana pension fund managers. So they become shareholders, but also through this deal, we're facilitating an increase in shareholding for the Botswana management team members of Minet. In all of our deals, we seek to have management increase their shareholding. That way we grow an entrepreneurial culture in Botswana where management are not just management, but they are owner-operators of the companies where they work. And we increase shareholder and management alignment where they're no longer on opposite sides, but are on the same side. So these are things that we're doing, and we couldn't be more excited about the prospects. This is about growth. This is about renewal. This is about focusing on the Botswana market.
Right, and maybe just to piggyback off of what Mr. Pule just said, the question now is, he spoke about introducing new ideas and the like. Now, what happens to the brand? Will the business now operate under the Aon name and brand in Botswana, and what will happen to the Aon employees in Botswana?
Thank you. We rebranded yesterday. We changed the name from Aon Botswana to Minet Botswana. So the brand now is Minet. And like I mentioned earlier, the team structures, the leadership and the service team structures have not changed, and they will remain like that. So our clients can be assured that they'll continue to receive the service that they're accustomed to. One additional thing, which is a benefit that I believe my staff or the staff are going to be happy with, is that we have an employee share option scheme, which gives the Minet employees a stake in the organization. They become shareholders themselves. And we are currently working on localizing key executive positions. This will be done with that process maybe by the end of this month. So really, I think the staff, judging from yesterday, are quite excited about this new change. It's a breath of fresh air. They're energized. They have a stake in the organization, and I think they are ready to go.
Right. Are you in a position to disclose the transaction, the details thereof?
No, we're not.
All right. Moving on to the next question as we wrap up our conversation for today. Maybe just to buttress what was being said by Mr. Mavuma in terms of ensuring confidence and client confidence, and to ensure that the processes that they will be continued to, and quality of service from Aon Botswana to the clients will remain the same. If not anything, it will increase or improve.
Correct. I think, absolutely. I think Mr. Mavuma and Mr. Pule said, that will be a key focus area. And I think maybe just to even further expand on what Mr. Pule said, that, our philosophy in terms of citizen economic inclusion goes just wider than shareholding. I think if you look at now, our board consists of, seasoned professionals that are Botswana, that are obviously not, independent, non-executive directors. Management consists of majority Botswana. Staff will continue to be retained, and I mean the majority, north of 95% of our staff are Botswana. Will continue to invest in skills development and potentials to be deployed in other markets in the continent and elsewhere. And I think the other element that we are going to be deliberate about it is really ensuring that, we procure services from entities that embrace citizen economic inclusion. We are going to continue our focus on corporate social responsibility and really just being a Botswana company that embraces this country but yet has got an international association and a Pan-African, footprint in that sense.
Right. And finally, who can people contact if they have, any questions?
We have 2 offices in the country. We have an office in Francis Town. If they want to visit us physically, it's at plot 554, 555 James Avenue. And if they want to call in, they can call at 241-2191. That's the Francis Town office. The receptionist will ask you which department you are looking for. We have risk, integrated risks. We have employee benefits. We have pension administration and risk management arm. So depending on who you are looking for, that's who they'll take you through.
Right.
And then Gaborone, we are at Fairgrounds Office Park, plot 50368. And you can call in at 3617300. And again, depending on which department you want to talk to, or what the needs are, what problems you want us to solve for you, we will take you to the appropriate team and the appropriate team head for assistance. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for talking to us this morning, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a good day.